During the Sengoku period, there were many warlords who left their mark on Japanese history. Among them, one who stands out as particularly brilliant is Uesugi Kenshin. His life was a spectacular one, with many battles fought amidst the turmoil of war, and he maintained a righteous spirit. The story of Uesugi Kenshin is a microcosm of the Sengoku period. Kenshin was born in 1530 in Echigo Province, present-day Niigata Prefecture, as the fourth son of Nagao Tamikage. His childhood name was Torichio, and from an early age, he was raised to study martial arts and study. His father, Tamikage, was active as the deputy governor of Echigo, and his abilities were recognized within the family. Kenshin's childhood was spent in an environment surrounded by the nature of the deep mountains of Echigo. From an early age, he trained in hunting and martial arts with his father and older brothers, honing his physical abilities. He also received instruction from monks and became familiar with the teachings of Buddhism. He was particularly impressed by the teachings of Zen Buddhism, which had a great influence on the formation of his personality. In 1543, the death of his father, Tamikage, triggered a problem of succession to the family headship. Due to internal conflict within the family, Kenshin came into conflict with his older brother, Harukage. Harukage was sickly and had little control over the family. For this reason, Kenshin, with the support of the influential members of the family, decided to take over as head of the family in place of his brother. Kenshin cooperated with the influential members of the family, and in 1548 succeeded in forcing Harukage to retire and taking over as head of the family. At this time, he changed his name to Nagao Kagetora. Kagetora immediately began reforming domestic affairs and strengthening the military, aiming to unify Echigo Province. After inheriting the family headship, Kagetora worked to strengthen domestic affairs and military power, and achieve the unification of Echigo Province. His rule was thorough, and his domestic reforms won the support of the people. In 1551, when Uesugi Norimasa, who was the Kanto Kanrei, fled to Echigo after being defeated by the Hojo clan, Kagetora protected him and made him take the Uesugi family name. As a result, he changed his name to Uesugi Masatora, and later to Uesugi Kenshin. Meeting Uesugi Norimasa was a major turning point for Kagetora. Norimasa had lost his position as Kanto Kanrei and was on the run. But Kagetora welcomed him graciously and decided to make him the Uesugi family name. As a result, Kagetora gained the position of Kanto Kanrei, and became the legitimate successor of the Uesugi family, greatly increasing his influence. The most famous battle in Kenshin's life is the Battle of Kawanakajima against Takeda Shingen. This battle took place a total of 5 times between 1553 and 1564. The showdown between these two heroes is considered the greatest battle in the history of the Sengoku period in Japan. The first Battle of Kawanakajima began in 1553. Kenshin marched from Echigo to Shinano, where he faced off against Shingen for the first time. The two sides fought back and forth, but no decisive winner was determined. The second and third battles followed, and the confrontation between the two became more intense. In particular, in the fourth Battle of Kawanakajima, Kenshin is said to have charged into the enemy camp alone, attacking Shingen's main camp. Kenshin quickly approached Shingen and attacked with his sword. However, Shingen calmly blocked the attack with his iron fan, and the duel ended in a draw. This brave and courageous fighting style is why he was called a god of war by later generations. In the fifth Battle of Kawanakajima, both sides were exhausted, and the battle ended without a conclusion. It is said that the confrontation between Kenshin and Shingen led to a relationship of mutual respect, and they continued to have contact afterwards. Kenshin continued to fight against the Hojo clan, Oda, Nobunaga, and various daimyo in the Kanto region. His battles were always based on the spirit of righteousness, and he was respected by many warlords, friend and foe alike. Uesugi Kenshin in particular valued the gratitude of a meal and a lodging, which was unusual for a Sengoku daimyo, and was loyal to those who were indebted to him. In 1561, Kenshin showed his righteousness by sending reinforcements to Honganji Temple, Nobunaga's arch-enemy, instead of responding to a request for reinforcements from his enemy, Oda Nobunaga. His actions showed that he was not just a Sengoku warlord, but also a man who valued honor. Kenshin also maintained his honor in his battles with the Hojo clan. In 1564, a peace agreement was reached with Hojo Ujiyasu, and both parties swore to protect each other's territories. Kenshin continued to uphold this peace agreement. and worked to maintain good relations with the Hojo clan thereafter. Kenshin did not lose his fighting spirit, even in his later years, and continued to actively expand his territory. In 1576, his conflict with Oda Nobunaga deepened, eventually leading to a direct confrontation with the Oda clan. However, in 1582, Kenshin suddenly fell ill and passed away in March of the same year at the age of 49. It is said that he died of a stroke. After Kenshin's death, the Uesugi clan was shaken by the issue of who would be his successor. The spirit of righteousness that he fought for throughout his life was passed down to later generations. But the Uesugi family itself was at the mercy of the rough waves of the Warring States period. After Kenshin's death, the Uesugi family was succeeded by his brother-in-law, Uesugi Kagekatsu. Kagekatsu followed Kenshin's teachings and worked to prosper the Uesugi family. But with the rise of Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the Uesugi family gradually lost its influence. Kenshin left behind more than just land and wealth. His legacy is his spirit of righteousness, his way of governing as a Sengoku daimyo, and the impact he had on many people. He was called one of the few gods of war, even during the Sengoku period, and his name is highly regarded not only as a military commander, but also as a moral leader. The name of Uesugi Kenshin is still highly regarded today. His spirit of righteousness impressed many people, and he is respected not only as a military commander but also as a person. Kenshin's teachings of righteousness are also cited in the fields of business and politics, and his leadership and governance are used as references. In particular, his attitude of valuing the debt of a meal and a place to stay, and his idea of being fair, even to opponents, are considered important lessons in modern society. Kenshin's calm judgment and strategic thinking in many battles have also been a valuable learning experience for many leaders. Kenshin's hometown of Echigo, present-day Niigata Prefecture, is home to many historical sites and museums related to him, and is a popular tourist destination. Joetsu City is home to the ruins of Kasugayama Castle, said to be Kenshin Uesugi's birthplace, and is visited by many tourists. Every summer, the Uesugi Kenshin Festival is held, and an event is held to celebrate his achievements.